All right, so I'll show you the. We'll break it free again, but if you look carefully, right about there under that secondary, you can see that there's that line there. So I think this is actually ranked silver camo. There's also a little bit of a line here. So this isn't steel. I think this is the ranked silver camo. But anyways, this is the Hildebrand. God, not the Hildebrand. The Sea Bear just got me thinking Hildebrand. Sorry, guys. This, I need to put my captain's hat on. This is Blue Falcon in the Kozma Minin.
Right.
That's true, Puck. That's true. And this is, of course, a Tier 9 cruiser. Now, this is, if I recall, a Donskoy hull, but with German guns instead of Donskoy guns. So these are like the standard, what, 203 millimeter guns that you would find on the German cruisers?
It's a hipper guns on Donskoy hull.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got a few things going for her, and she's got a few things going against her. So give me a second. Let me pull up the build viewer. Here we go. And let me make this full screen. Good. And let me find my build viewer. Hello? Oh. Hold on. Ship stats. There we go. Ta-da! Here we go. Opposite of Talon, which is a hipper hull with Russian guns. Correct, right. So the big thing to her, of course, is that she's got the ability to take radar, and this is Soviet radar, so it's 12-kilometer range, and decent action time at 30-odd seconds, of course, with a radar upgrade module there. She also has the ability to mount hydroacoustic search, which makes her very well suited for pushing into areas where there could be a large torpedo threat. And then, of course, she also has engine boost, which is very interesting. It allows her to be very aggressive. Because they're German guns, they have 1/4 HE penetration. So because it's got 1/4 HE penetration, these guns will penetrate with HE. They'll penetrate 51 millimeter of armor. That's important to understand. This makes her a very good long-range HE spamming kiting ship. Charging up close, though, one of the big things about the Donskoy versus this ship is that the Donskoy's guns have a higher rate of fire, if I recall correctly.
So if you look at it, it boils down to the HE DPM and the HE alpha on the Kozma is lower.
Right.
Than the Donskoy, but the AP DPM is higher because German AP.
Right. So when you're pushing and you're getting broadsides of things, you can switch over to the AP and do some work. Now, she's got German torpedoes as well. So I believe the Donskoys are like, what, 8-kilometer range or something? These are going to be 6.
It's actually a very weird torpedo because like it has the German 6-kilometer range.
Yeah.
But that's not the German damage on the torpedo. The damage is actually higher. So I don't know what these torpedoes are.
Okay. All right. Hey, thank you, Dutch, for the sub. Am I streaming tonight's training? No, I was not planning on it. My wife demands some time. I was actually talking to her about it the other day when we were watching Raptor stream on Wednesday, and she's like, wow, he's got so many people watching. I'm like, yeah, because his wife lets him stream at night. She kind of glared at me on that one. Anyway, we did see Kuznetsov on it, and it's a premium ship, so might as well put Kuznetsov on that ship. Let's go ahead and take a look at Blue Falcon's build for this ship. So he's got main armaments modification 1, surveillance radar mod 1, aiming systems mod 1, propulsion, concealment, and then finally reload. The concealment is good because the concealment gets you down with the concealment expert almost to stealth radar range, to the point where if you're detected, you wait up, like a second or two, pop your radar, and chances are you will catch whatever was just spotting you. So that's kind of nice. Beyond that, maneuverability-wise, rudder shift time of 10 seconds. For me, I go for 15 battleship, 10 for a cruiser, and 5 seconds for destroyer. So it's right on that that borderline of, is it okay to go for propulsion or is it okay to go for rudder shift? Again, I think this really depends on how you choose to play her. If you
No, it doesn't. It actually doesn't on this ship. You need the
Why?
propulsion.
Why?
Because the acceleration of the ship is absolutely horrible garbage without it. It does not move.
Okay. This is one thing that I did notice when I was playing the game myself, is that the propulsion seemed a little slow, but that could be because I had steering gears. I think I have steering gears when I did it myself.
You need the propulsion.
Again, if you are somebody who hits W 4 times and then never touches your throttle, propulsion doesn't matter because you're at full or max speed anyways. If you're somebody who constantly likes to play stop and go games, then you're going to go propulsion. So the description I was giving still bears fruit, but according to Grunty, the acceleration on the ship sucks, so you probably are going to want to go propulsion. Fine. Now keep in mind you also have engine boost to help you get faster if you need to in a hurry. We got hydroacoustic search. I mean, that's far better than defensive anti-air. And then we did see Kuznetsov's flag. So Kuznetsov gives you baked-in consumables specialist, which comes in very handy for getting these consumables because there's a lot of them on the ship. So you can definitely go for a consumable-based build. Keep in mind this is a cruiser though. So if you're speccing Kuznetsov for this cruiser, this build may not be perfect for, say, a Moskva or a Stalingrad or something like that. So keep that in mind when you're thinking through your build. If you're wanting to make one that's specific for a ship, fine. But if you're making one that's more of a generalistic view, then you might want to have some differences in your build. So
I don't actually think he made this build for the Kozma, though. I think that's one for a different Russian cruiser.
So he's got 2 talents we want to talk about real quick. If his HP falls below 10%, he gets an immediate DCP. It makes it harder for ships to hit you during a certain amount of time. And then you also get a restoration of HP. So you get kind of like a heal. What I always tell people is you hold your last heal in reserve to when Will for Victory procs, and then you hit your heal at the same time. You kind of get a double heal going. It makes you extremely hard to kill at the very end. And then you get emergency reserve. If you get first blood, you get an extra set of consumables, which is very sexy. You have training match for Team League. If you plan to do your replay, can you do it at the very end? Maybe second watch. Trainings from this moment, 1.5 hour. Well, I will see what I can do, Dutch. No promises. So anyways, your build, you've gone for Grease the Gears, Consumables Specialist, Consumables Enhancements, Adrenaline Rush, Superintendent, Survivability Expert, Concealment Expert, and Top Grade Gunner. I mean, this makes perfect sense for a ship that has a lot of consumables that you'd want to utilize. This build could probably also work on a Moskva, or I don't know that I mean, I guess you could use it on a Stalingrad to get the radar up more frequently.
I think it's a Nevsky build, to be honest. What he has here.
You could use it on the Nevsky as well.
I'll be honest, like I wouldn't take Grease the Gears here. With these German guns, I would want the gun feeder. And the turret traverse is actually really good, so I don't think you need the Grease the Gears.
If you're doing a specific ship build for this particular ship, I can see what you're saying with that. My problem I always have is when there's a premium ship out there and you don't know if you're going to love it or not. Like, you don't want to go all into a build for it until you know for a fact. And then the problem becomes, okay, well, now if I'm playing Moskva, this isn't as good on a Moskva. I'd rather have the turret traverse. So it comes down to where you're going to put your ship more. This is a 21-pointer. If you've got...
Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, if you got Kuznetsov, I'd put him on whichever premium ships I'm going to use more frequently.
Yeah.
And then I would build somebody else with a 21-point captain for this ship, for example.
I'm just saying, if I was using that on the Moskva, I wouldn't have consumable specialist. I would have had the gun feeder and the Grease the Gears. Because the Moskva really benefits from both of those.
Sure. Now, Zemensky has buffed Grease the Gears. So this might make an argument for some of the other ships that have difficulty with the turret traverse. Why not buff that even more? But anyway, you've got Kuznetsov. Now, some things that personally I'd like to have when I play is priority target. Of course, you're going to have to get rid of consumables enhancements in order to make that happen, or one of these lower skills which you really, really desperately want. So it makes it kind of difficult. But beyond that, I can't see a change up here other than I took my ship into ranked, and I saw Raptor did on Wednesday as well. Having radiolocation would be a real help in ranked. But in randoms or other game modes, it's probably not as important.
I said this on Raptor stream. I think it's a terrible ship for ranked because it's a
It's not a good.
role.
It's not a good ship for ranked. When I met Raptor in ranked that first time when I was in Alaska and he was in this ship, that was after I had just played this ship and said, "Oh God, this is terrible." So
Yeah, he thought it was a good idea. Like I was like, I would probably actually also not even prolong the radar duration. Like, I think if you're getting close enough in a Donskoy to use your radar, you're getting wrecked. I would rather have the speed boost mod in the second slot or something like this.
Oh, you mean up here? You mean up here?
Like
Okay.
completely long range. Like, screw the radar. Like, this is a ship where I would... If that ship was like an American ship and I could take the spotter plane instead of a radar, I would do it.
Okay.
There's a trap on this, in my opinion. It just gets you killed.
So, I mean, I like the idea of putting in the boosted for engine boost because this is something that most Russian cruisers do not have access to. So having it last even longer could be kind of fun. I could see that. I could totally see that. Jake, thank you. We're just now getting into Warships. We did Slay the Princess earlier. That was a lot of fun. It's Friday. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. And we're looking at a Kozma Minin build. So, signal flags, lol detonations going away. And being replaced by something you need anyway. You've got fire chance. You've got heal boost, speed, and consumables. And then you've got the hydro boost. Okay. I would probably recommend the fire reduction would be good here, or the ramming, but probably fire reduction more than anything else. Let's get to the game. Don't forget, today is the last day to support me for Marvel Strike Force. You got the link right there in chat if you want to help me out. Click the link. You have to download it on your phone on mobile. And you get to like level 7 or something, and you're Gucci. Jer, what's up, Jer? Thank you for the bits, my friend. Hope you're doing you're doing well and having a good Friday. Jer just detonated the stream with a cheer. Looks like we've got a live one in the waters, and it's not a rip but a revel. Let's keep the explosions of support coming, and who knows, maybe Jer will be the MVP of the next replay analysis. Lol. Happy Friday indeed.
I just noticed this game is a Q dump.
Yeah, it kind of looks that way, doesn't it? Your top tier, 7s. Smaller number of players, which originally made me think this was ranked, especially since this is arms race. But this is randoms with arms race?
All stations protect that
target.
It's mode shuffle. No, randoms are...
Right, but the icon here is wrong. Okay.
No, it's arms race isn't randoms. So it's a random.
Hey, Meat Pie Man. Do we know how the Kozma will be available after the event? No, we don't. No, we don't. We have no idea. Wargaming will decide what they want to do with the ship. So if you think you might want her, you're going to have to shell out for her, frankly.
I think it's going to be straight up cash at some point again.
So anyway, your top tier, it's arms race. You've got a couple of tier 9 battleships to worry about. Just had a 9v9 game in randoms as tier 8, still sucked. Sorry to hear that, Seaver. Honestly, I'd be playing mode shuffle if I can with 8. I don't know if it can or not. Or if you can get to rank silver. That's where I'd play my 8s.
You can't play mode shuffle as a tier 8 is terrible. That basically guarantees you're getting up tiered with no chance of being top tier.
Okay. So then stay in randoms.
Also, with the bounty event going on right now, the mode shuffle queue is really, really empty.
Okay, good point. Because we do see
in mode shuffle.
We do see the Baije as a bounty right now. Okay, let's take a look at your positioning early on here. So you're setting yourself up to kite away.
Support the allied target.
Honestly, with you being top tier, I think I would have liked to have seen you playing closer to the Jervis so that you could support the Jervis if needed. But you're going to play her as a... Oh, Groningen, Groningen, Groningen. You didn't even notice it? This is why I like having priority target, because it tells me if I need to be using my engine booster or not. You also just use your radar. Let's see, is my radar detect down here? No, there we go. So you just used your radar, didn't detect anything. Groningen was detected, but you ignored it. And you're moving at full speed now, at nearly 40 knots, but nobody's targeting you or shooting at you, so what's the rush? I'd almost sit broadside trying to get these guys to shoot at me instead of the your teammate, the Adatara, whatever.
Reporting the target position.
With how low and how broadside the Adatara is, I don't think they would switch though.
No, they probably wouldn't, but hey, you know,
yeah.
like... If you can get them to switch, great. Oh well. I'm thinking about it. I need to load up the replay render tool. And there goes the Jervis as well. So you're down 2 ships now. Well, you're down 1 ship technically because of that. Yugumo hopefully is going to get the heal. In arms race, y'all, the heal is so important. You absolutely have to get the heal. Now he's reversing, so I wouldn't be aiming center mass. I'd be aiming to the right of that. And there goes your Colorado. You're using radar again. I'm curious. I mean, I guess you figured the Groningen's sitting in his smoke, but you didn't have an angle on that. And you've got 3 battleships near you, so I don't really feel like the radar is going to matter.
Yeah, that was like 2 completely wasted radars.
It feels like you're just using consumables because they're available, without really understanding why you need to use them. You enjoy tier 5 through 7? Those are a lot of fun. 7s now are sometimes a toss-up because you get, you know, into tier 9 games a lot. Alright, loyalty boss chest going in Stream Raiders. And this is turning into a real bad looking game.
See, at the start of the game I was like, yeah, this is actually pretty good. You have 1 destroyer extra, which is great for getting buffs in an arms race. But
didn't work out that way.
Just decided to, I don't know, die.
Well, and part of that too, like, the Groningen was discovered, but Blue Falcon didn't shoot at it. Nobody really shot at it. And it's like, you can't allow destroyers to just run around willy-nilly, you know?
Yeah, the thing though is like, the Groningen wasn't even that close to the Jervis. Like, I don't even know how the Jervis died to the Groningen.
I think the Jervis got too close trying to kill the, whatever is it, Piranga. True matchmaking awesomeness of Warships added again. That's right. That's right.
I mean, this is a Q dump, so...
Mm-hmm. Nagato sitting...
I have no idea why, because like there's no divisions, no carriers, no subs. Like it makes no... unless he played this at really weird hours, it makes no sense why this game would be a Q dump. But here we are.
Well, Blue Falcon is in Europe, and he plays this on the NA server. So he's probably playing this at 7, 8, 9, you know, 10 p.m. European time. Shoot the Kearsarge! Shoot the Kearsarge! He's almost dead! Shoot the Kearsarge! Never mind, he's dead.
I mean, I play at these times too, and I usually don't end up in these Q dumps. So.
But Nagato sitting bow onto an Ashitaka just feels so bad on so many levels. You gotta be thinking about, like, what comes next. Ashitaka's gonna die. What are you gonna do afterwards? And you're continuing to swing out to the side of the map. and you're going to have nothing to do for a long time. You need a hard turn right. I would be turning towards the Baije. I would be turning towards the Baije here to try to start focusing on the stuff in the middle. Forget about the Ashitaka. And now you see it. Now you're like, what to do?
It felt like desperately you're trying to keep the ship out of your gun range, but forgetting that that doesn't matter. They can still shoot you because it's their gun range that matters, not yours.
It's a good point. But like right here, I'd be turning southward. I wouldn't keep going north. You haven't really been shot at much. I mean, you're at about 500,000 potential, but it feels like you haven't been putting yourself up on the front lines that much. CC container code giveaway up. 5 minutes. Got to say something in chat. Make sure you're a follower as well. There you go. Gort's here. What's up, Gort? What's up, Moore's Elite? Sea Bear's still here. Good kill. Now you've got the Synop. I'd probably DCP that one right away. I mean, nobody's gonna be shooting HE at you that you can see, or have to worry about torpedoes. And I don't know why you're ducking behind the island here. I'd be moving forward. So you have a shot on the Synop. Instead, you're gonna let the Nagato take the hit and possibly die. Yeah, he's quite low.
You gotta think about like what happens if the enemy team gets the center and they're very close to getting the center.
They're gonna get it.
You are running out of time.
What's interesting is how close the game's gotten, even though you were so far behind. Go ahead.
It's interesting that the Groningen is shooting instead of just getting the middle. Like, he's like actually trying to die, or actively trying to die.
I mean, that's great for your team. You're getting resets because of him. I would be shooting the El Cuendo, definitely. He's probably got some progress towards capping. Come on. Come on. Just in time. Wow. Just in time. Look at that. Engine boost on.
Yeah,
so what's the point of engine boosting if you're stopping?
Enemy team is throwing hard here.
They are indeed. That's great for Blue Falcon team, although Yugumo is looking quite low. Oh, yes, good. The Groningen is backing up. Perfect. Ah, San Diego. Somebody else who's got some progress towards capping. AP time? I would not have DCP'd that fire.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would keep the HE going. Sorry, what was that, Grunty?
The AP looked good, but not if you keep backing up like this.
Well, the problem is he's so far away, the Oquendo's just going to turn anyways, which he's done. So the AP doesn't matter. So it's just you, the Ipiranga, and the Nagato, and you all are on the 1-2 line. So GG. At least you get more base decaps. Terrace Mark 1. Congrats, Terrace.
One hand can't stay dark.
Hydro would be good right now. I wouldn't have used both. I would not have used both. Alright, AP now would be good. There you go. And again, the instant DCP here.
I mean, the San Diego is most likely firing SAP, so...
Look like it.
Deactivated.
Believe it or not, how are they not getting any... Okay, because the Groningen left the cap now. Oh my god, the Groningen left the cap. What are we seeing?
You're seeing an enemy team that does not want to win.
No,
it's doing
right.
everything in their way trying to lose this. Like, this is ridiculous.
Okay, now doesn't San Diego get torpedoes?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Fletcher
For-
torps.
Well, no, they're
So-
4.5 kilometers, so that's like Atlanta torps.
Yeah, but they hit like a freight train.
Okay.
Uh,
I think this is the part where you die. No, it's not. Dev Strike and High Caliber.
Problem solved, sir.
Okay, then.
why can't I play against these opponents?
Seriously.
Like, there's paid actors and then there's paid actors. Like,
Groningen killed the Nagato. I'm amazed the Nagato lived that long. I think Sinop has realized that everybody left the cap, and he's like, come on, guys. Your Ipiranga is very healthy, so that's good. I guess AP is okay here. I mean, Sinop is very healthy.
considering there's the Ipiranga with the secondaries too, I would probably shoot the HE here just to get sticky fires quicker.
Right, exactly.
The AP is doing decent amount of damage though.
This is true.
And it doesn't even seem like the Ipiranga secondaries are firing because...
No, Sinop is running away fast enough. And Ipiranga is not really in a rush. Look, he's turning too. So, honestly, the Sinop isn't the problem right now. Like, I would be thinking about getting up to here at some point. Yeah, see? Kill this dude. Forget about the Sinop. Go kill the destroyers. Okay, now you've seen it. What's up, Dolito?
How is that destroyer even spotted?
Because he's shooting, of course.
Why?
Because he's a destroyer and he must destroy all the things. I don't know. Maybe because he figures they've won. Don't use your radar.
The moment they all decided to go to this side of the flank before actually capping the middle.
Yeah. Okay, Sinop is coming up. I would, honestly, I'd look at the Sinop.
Like, honestly, this Groningen isn't even a threat. Like, he can't even hit you.
What's the radar for? Radar's for when he smokes. Okay. Switch to AP and nail the broadside of the Sinop. Somehow the Ipiranga took a lot of damage.
Deactivated.
Probably showing broadside.
Torpedoes, get ahead.
Is it mean to say that this is a game that both teams deserve to lose?
It's hard to watch. And I'm not quite sure what you're trying to do running up to the island here. I think you're trying to force them to come around the island and make some big mistake. Like you did earlier. Now remember, he's got Opzov. So, knowing you don't have any more heals, yeah, I would probably DCP as well. Too high. You can't back up too much farther because you're going to be in the Synops gun arcs. Like, if you're going to keep backing up, I'd actually be turning the other way so that the Synop doesn't have an angle on you. And you switch to AP? This hurts a lot. Bye-bye. So, you're trying to play this ship like you're playing a Des Moines. This is not a Des Moines. This is not a Des Moines. Wow. Well, that happened.
I'm getting a paracetamol. My
You're getting a what?
hurts. Paracetamol.
What is that?
Painkiller.
Oh.
Because this game made my brain hurt.
Let's take a look at the post-game results. So nearly 2 million credits, good damage. Top of the scoreboard, although frankly with the way things worked, you know, that's kind of to be expected. Hey, Dev Strike Form, how's it going? Explosive freeze frame was beautiful. It always is. It's part of the game you rarely ever see. That's why we always stop at the death picks. Groningen, though, with 4 kills. So this is one of those games, Falcon, where you're gonna say, I did good. And yet we are looking at it and saying, no, you didn't. Like there's a lot of things that you probably would have been better suited doing differently. Now, you can't control who's on your team. And so you can't control just how suicidal that first Adatara was. Or your Jervis. Hey, Hog. Welcome back.
Let's see what happens to Jervis. The Jervis got the buff there. That was good.
Yeah.
And then what? Because the Groningen is so far away, like there's no way he...
Right there.
He tried to YOLO rush and almost dead Ipiranga.
Yeah.
And
as you do.
It wasn't even a Groningen, the Ipiranga just smacked him, I think.
Yes.
He lost his...
Yes.
Oh, God.
You remember so many games thinking you'd done brilliantly, only find mistake after mistake from me. And yes, it's necessary, and it's an important thing to say, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? We're not in the business, of course, of tearing anybody's performance down. Like I said, you came in first on the scoreboard. That's commendable. But there are things that I think could have led to victory that you didn't do. Why, Jervis? Why? Because it's a random battle. That's why. So the first thing was you never really shot the Groningen until like later. And even then you weren't really able to utilize what you had.
I just think like this right here, like this is too passive.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
And it's basically this passive play here what kept you stuck in this general area for the whole remainder of the game.
Yep. Absolutely. And you had moments where you could have made a difference, Falcon. And we'll try to highlight those in the replay. I don't think it's really happened yet, although, you know, you're in farm mode, fine. I commented at this point in the replay, you should be turning the other direction. You should be going and trying to help kill the Los Andes and stuff like that. Like, Ashitaga's already dead.
It doesn't even matter. Like, you can even go back south Or you could push up north and get the angle from this way. Both is fine,
Right.
but staying here is the wrong choice.
Well, and this is the part where you kind of dropped anchor, almost like you were afraid of what to do next, seeing all these ships behind the island. And no, you can't afford to do that. You got to get out there. You got to get yourself shot at along with others. Like, you're just allowing them to focus on your Ipiranga and the Nagato. Fortunately, the Los Andes makes a game return for God knows why. And here comes the Sinop. Now, the Sinop, believe it or not, you could have actually YOLO charged and killed with your torpedoes.
I already mentioned that, like, if you went a bit more north, like, you would have free farm now on this Groningen, and you probably killed both destroyers if you went north.
Yes, that as well.
How is this Yugumo even spotted here?
He's
Oh,
been shooting the Groningen.
Yeah, clever idea.
He probably figures the game's over. To hell with it. Or he's trying to get the decaps before they cap the base. One of those two. To be fair, I have died early playing too aggressively as a destroyer and arms base many times. Absolutely. It's very easy to do that. And the big thing is having the backup from a friendly cruiser. Here comes the San Diego. That San Diego, man, he whiffed those torps so hard. Now, right here. This is the part I was talking about. You've got the opportunity right now to just go straight at the Sinop and double team him. And this is the perfect time to do it, by the way, because there's only 2 other enemies left, and they're too busy up to the north dealing with the Nagato. So this is the perfect time.
They're both too far away.
Exactly.
At this very moment, yeah.
Exactly. So it's only you and this. It's only you, Sinop, and Ipiranga. So this is your opportunity, and instead you just back up. If you charged him, if you kept getting closer, your AP would probably, you know, you'd have more pen damage essentially, right? Or as Grunty was talking about, getting him on fires would have worked as well. Here's the part where he just turns to the Sinop.
I mean, let's be honest, the Ipiranga must have nothing for secondaries. He was like 8 kilometers away there and his secondaries didn't fire. So either he had them disabled,
Yeah.
or he has like absolutely 0 range extension for the secondaries.
Right.
Like, it was kind of rough.
That is absolutely very rough. But it's a random battle, and we always talk about this. You can't control your teammates. You can only control what you do, right?
Yeah, but like on the other hand, like I kind of get it. Like if you don't pay too enough attention, see, oh, that's Nipiranga, 8 kilometers away from the Sinop. Surely he's gonna finish this with the secondaries alone.
Yep.
And then, wait, his secondaries aren't even firing. Feels bad.
Absolutely. Now, I have to re-render
That being
because I'm trying to
said,
see what
like-
the build is for the Ipiranga.
Like even if the Ipiranga finishes the Sinop here, I'm not sure you still win it because like that like Hardy charged you down pretty nicely.
Well, yeah. And he also let himself get charged too. Like you don't reverse in front of a destroyer charging you. You're better off, you know,
Yeah,
turning
that's
and
true.
going at full speed. So I kind of feel like this is 2 cases where, you know, we see him hiding behind islands a lot in this
Too
game.
much.
Probably 3 times, maybe 4.
And it's like it's the wrong ship to do. Like these aren't Russian light cruiser guns like a Chapayev where you can lob the shells. Like these are German guns. They have flat trajectories.
This should be the Ipiranga build. Let's see.
I don't even want to know.
I'm going to drop the build replay render for a second. Here's the build of the Ipiranga. Yeah. Ouch. Ouch.
Oh my god.
Ouch.
Oh no. Oh no.
That explains things. What? More. Ouch.
Wait.
Torpedo lookout system? Airstrike? Anti-air? You sweet summer child.
I need a second painkiller.
Oh my god, my eyes.
And that's what was left working with Falcon at the end.
Well, now we know why Pinston didn't die, right?
This is not it's not a troll build. It's somebody who's grinding up the ship, doesn't understand all the different pieces, clearly hates subs, clearly hates carriers, and just doesn't. He's got a 7-point captain, doesn't know what to do with the points.
And has been dropped way too many times. Looking at the vigilance and the torpedo lookout system.
He hates torps. I get it. He hates subs. He hates destroyer torpedoes. Like that. When I look at and he hates detonations. When I look at that, that's what I see. It's unfortunate, you know. I brought this up at the before a summit. You know, we got to find a way to help players understand like how things work in this game. But you know,
there's recommended commander skills for the ship now. There's recommended modules for the ship. Like, I at this point, I don't even know what wargaming can do even more to make it more obvious what people should put on their ship. Because quite honestly, these recommended builds are pretty good 95% of the time. There are exceptions, but 95% of the time, they're pretty good. And if you do that, you can't at least go completely wrong. Like this guy did.
I don't want to get too much into it, but Moore's Elite, you hit the nail on the head. You guys being here and other people who tune into other Twitch streamers, you guys are the engaged crowd. You read the dev blogs. You understand all this kind of stuff. And if you don't understand, you ask questions and you're here to learn. That person could very much used to be watching YouTube videos or hanging out on Twitch and stuff like that. But as Profile says, there's no substitute for experience. I think the name for this replay definitely needs to be Pain. I don't know what else to call it.
That's okay. Like if people don't watch the stuff and they don't know how to play, that's why the recommendations are there in game. Like and then deliberately ignoring them. That's a different level of inexperience.
Well, like I said, their experience is different. Their experience is I hate subs, I hate carriers, I hate torpedoes.
Yeah.
Our clan's battle cry is "Bring the hammer." Nice, Jimbo. All right, let's get out of this one.
Yikes.
Let's get out of this one and move on to the next one. So, hey, Blue Falcon, thank you so much for being Tier 4 Patreon, and thank you for your support, and thank you for sending in this replay. Hope we were able to give you some feedback and some help with this game.